Hello, going live here. How are we doing today on this lovely 12/12 portal? 12/12, December 12th of 2025. Hi, hi, hi. Come on in, stay a while. Just kind of enjoy the show here. So as we let and allow a little bit of time for people to come in, I apologize for the few minute delay there. I had a little bit of technology issues, but come on in. Say hi if you are, yeah, say hi in the chat. Hit that like button, show some love here so we get this out. This is just a free event today for anyone who, is looking for some divine alignment and shifts and just to see where we go because spirit is guiding today. So hit that share if you're not subscribed. My name is Jenna, if you're new here, and I am a practitioner and I work within a couple different modalities here. I'm actually tuned into the Akashic enlightenment and records of the collective, and I've just kind of asked like a on a higher soul level, whatever people are willing to receive today will be part of the transmission. So yeah, come on in. Let me know where you're tuning in from too as well. I'm always interested to see where people are coming in from. And so today, I just this event channeled in last minute and I felt really guided with all of the energy coming in and all of the transits happening. I don't know if anyone has been feeling feeling it this week energetically, whether you're tired or you feel like your body's really off, you're not alone. I know it's like more earlier in the week for me. Now it feels like it's more settled. So if you had any of that come up for you, let me know. Because the few people I talked to, they were feeling the energy. So I feel really guided to host this so that we start to clear out some things and step into our highest timeline and end the year in this, in this shift and really get that momentum to start the year in this new way of being. So I'm always a proponent of like the new year isn't like, 2026 is the new year, but it's not like where we really need to just start at that moment and start all these new goals and all this stuff, and we start here today. Now that's how I feel. That's what resonates with me. Is I never wait till something to say I'm going to start this in the new year. And so that's really what's prompting this here to really help us shift into the timeline and start now. Where is our highest timeline? Where are we seeing it, and what does even like 12/12 mean? I am not 100% familiar with the 12/12 portal, but it's all about synchronicities, intentions, and numbers as well. And so when I'm getting in for this and what was channeling in for this was about new beginnings, using the intention of the energy and a lot of people that are working with the energy today to then manifest these new beginnings here and now. Where's our abundance, right? Our abundance, we always have actually abundance. What I learned is we always have abundance. It's what are we abundant in? Are we abundant in a lack mindset? Are we abundant in, right, prosperity and wealth? Are we abundant in, whatever negative thoughts that that's coming in for us? So we're always abundant. How can we shift that? And then, yeah, happy 12/12 there. Good to see you. I hit that like button here, guys. So 12/12 here, what's coming in, and we're going to really anchor this portal in and this energy in that I actually see like solidifying in this container. So we are all part of, free will, but there's a container that is forming, and I actually see this gold crystalline grid kind of just coming in and anchoring in. So for people that are tuning in just now or even later on in the day or whenever you see this, just like a telepathic, or if you want to type it, feel free to type yes, that you are open to receiving divine love and whatever support that looks like for you. So we are looking at, when we're starting new, or we're looking at what's happening and where we want to go, what are we doing? We're closing out chapters, and Spirit's coming in with some messages here about closing chapters does not mean failure. This word has been coming in quite a bit actually for me in different circumstances and with different clients. And there's like a heaviness, sometimes a heaviness to the word failure. And it's all about perception, right? Like perception of what something means. And so when we look at closing a chapter, if something did not work for us, what are we learning from it? What is the experience giving us that we can share in our next chapter, right? Or share in our next, I always like to say, I'm closing like the whole book on this one. Like it's not even a chapter. It's a book. There's a new book that I'm rewriting because I'm a whole new me. And so looking at this as an opportunity to really actually acknowledge any grief. So there's a feeling, a little bit of a resonance of like a collective grief, whether that's just one person or just other people. And you don't need to be here now for that to be resonant. And take what I say with whatever resonates with you. So since this is a collective here, it may not be specific to you. So keeping that in mind, there does feel like a bit of a grief here. It's like the shedding of the old and how the recognizing of maybe staying in that space, in that old self, that old skin and that old version a little bit longer than one would have liked to have stayed in that. And and the big thing that's coming in here is about forgiveness. Okay, so forgiveness to ourselves, true alignment and true, even like Christ consciousness, which is just an energy of love and unconditional love, right? Includes forgiving ourselves, but recognizing that, yes, we are the driver, we are the owner of the seat, but are we are switching gears here and now. So if there's some experience that we stayed in a little bit longer than we would have wanted to, and we recognize that, allow the grief to be recognized and seen with kindness and compassion. Because when we soften into this kindness and this compassion for ourselves, we actually let the walls down. We let the walls down of our heart, and then we can actually drive from that heart and our soul. We can drive from this space and this time, and we can start to navigate life in a not a I need to be protected way, right? Not in a I need to have all my walls up and all my guards up because I'm not sure what's happening. So allowing one to really just soften and give ourselves compassion and kindness when we, even when we're spiritual and we're looking to be enlightened and ascend, we the each layer that we shed, when we recognize it in the moment and be really kind and give ourselves grace, we allow ourselves to come out of survival. Sometimes we're in a survival or a fight or flight, or just a nervous system that's a little bit dysregulated, right? Like there's no extremes, or one way is not right or wrong. There's just a description of, we've had experiences in the past that are really that really activate our system, and we start to create from an unconscious space. So when we really drop into this presence here and we slow down and we witness all of those pieces that are coming up, that's when we can create this new space in our highest timeline, in our highest abundance of whatever we are looking to call in. So, right, that abundance of love, of unconditional love, of wealth, of friendships, of chosen family, right? Um, Peace, whatever that abundance is, we can start to create that when we are truly slowing down in the moments where we are being unconscious and start to just unravel the pieces that really aren't ours to hold onto. They may have, maybe I want to put in quotes as I see spirit showing that they may have served a purpose, and that purpose, what I want to say, is part of this human experience that we we wanted to come here to learn from. And it's not serving us a purpose. Maybe it showed up as a survival or some distraction in some belief systems that we may have carried for decades or however long, is not serving us. They are false beliefs, and that's not serving us to create this or really jump into this divine new timeline, or right, not new timeline, but just this timeline that we are ready for, that has all that we are looking for. So it's really, really beautiful, just this gold and pink energy coming in here for us. So you may feel those transitions coming in already as the channeling is just happening. So hopefully you guys are feeling good there. I just felt that prompt for that message there, and like where to start to set this container for the rest of the event here today. So hopefully you guys are doing well. Hit that like button, share this out there. See if we can get any awareness to people that are really in need of any support today, or this month. So we are going to start into this really guided release practice here. And I like to start with this before we start to kind of light up this light body, because what came in first was about grief, right? Whatever that looks like, whatever this space of letting go of the version, I want to say, like the false beliefs that we're holding and containing in our inner bodies. um there's a release for that. There's an opportunity to release it even at an unconscious level. And whatever it is that we're holding on to, it might even just be like a word, right? So start to get, feel free to get as comfortable as you want, guys. As comfortable as whatever works for you, and start to relax here as we start to step into this release space so that we can start to call in the new. So feel free, if you also need a drink of water as I am taking myself here, feel free to do that. Beautiful. Okay. Well, if you're still with me, start to relax. Relax here, relax those eyes, relax the body, relax the mind. And even if you recognize that your mind is wandering, just acknowledge that. Don't resist it, just see it. And then start to come back to my voice, to this container that we are creating and co-creating together. And actually, with that, we're going to set an intention of creating an actual container around the space, of which there is one already, but each individual person will start to imagine and create their container. and cultivate whatever they're looking to bring into that to support them in a safe space and releasing. So start to visualize yourself wrapped in or being wrapped in pink energy flowing in from the cosmos here, and start to recognize that pink energy is just flowing gently around your body, dropping in deeper into your state of peace, into your state of safety, starting to build and create this container. So seeing that pink energy move around your space, maybe you start to visualize, or you have something that comes in mind that you would like to put in this container so that you can always come back in or know that you're in an instant. It's automatic. So maybe you put flowers in this container around you. Maybe you have a certain color that calls you. Maybe you have some comfort foods. Maybe you have a blanket, or feeling like you're wrapping yourself in warmth and heat. And as this is happening, start to feel this love pouring in from the universe here, as the universe is just moving that energy and helping you to recognize the love that is always there, pouring that in with your yes into that container as you are the one receiving. And if you feel resistance to receiving, just actually acknowledge that too, as we let this love pour into this container. Creating this container here, cultivating this grounded safety, anchoring you in, letting that pink energy flow through your body, flowing through, moving from the heart to the neck, the throat, and that throat chakra, that expression. If you're feeling any resistance on being heard and understood and receiving, just breathe into that space. And when you breathe out, relax that jaw, soften the body, as this is your container, softening into that space, recognizing that energy, that pink energy, that love, moving up to that forehead, that third eye, where you could shift from perceiving to seeing truth, seeing all that is, letting that energy merge in, moving up to the crown chakra, your connection into all that is, to source, universe, God, whatever you call, your connection to you, your higher self, your trust, your faith. Any doubt, just recognize that and where that is in the body, allowing this love, this pink energy to be seen, to be witnessed as it moves through that space, moving and flowing gently back down through the heart and down to the stomach, solar plexus, seeing your confidence, your power. Shoo, 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 shoo. Any resistance to this, we're actually just going to breathe that pink energy into that stomach and breathe out. Softening the body, softening the jaw, letting that energy just move and starting to move that pink energy down to that lower belly, that sacral chakra, your creative space, your sexual energy, your life force energy, your emotions. If you've ever been in a space where your emotions did not feel safe to express, you're now dropping into this container of love where all of that is seen and witnessed with love from the universe. Breathing into this space and breathing out, softening the jaw, allowing yourself to receive in this container. Dropping down, anchoring down into that root chakra, the pelvic region, an energy center connected to your safety, security. Any spaces and times where that wasn't an aspect, where maybe you did not feel safe. Just witnessing how you feel in the body. Allowing any grief to come up. Sadness, anger, shame, guilt. Whatever that is, allowing a space for that to be witnessed here now. Recognizing that this container is you, and you are the container. You are cultivating the safe space to release and witness and acknowledge all of you, any shadows, and embrace that with acceptance and love. Any doubt, any shame, allow a recognition and witnessing of that without judgment. And if you see the judgment, just acknowledge that too. That has a space in your container. All is welcomed. And as you're connecting your focus on that pelvic region or bringing your attention back, just start to visualize roots in that pelvic region, roots that are coming down, whether you're sitting or laying down, going down now to the earth. Letting those roots find the deepest part and moment and space and time in the earth where you feel fully supported, fully anchored and grounded by Mother Gaia, by the earth, as she is coming into this transmission, into this release, finding that perfect spot and settling your attention on that area. As your container has expanded from the support of the cosmos, the earth, yourself, any collective. And as you have this container, start to visualize or think of and know how safe you are. Recognize how that feels in the body and what feeling comes along with that. So with that feeling, with that snapshot in your body, start to bring in something that you are looking to release. You can bring in more than one thing, but just have that focus and that intention and start to receive that without judgment. Doing your best to acknowledge maybe there are things coming up. Maybe there is shame. Maybe there's guilt. Maybe there's anger. And this is the container of love holding that space, letting you witness and see and embrace all of that of what you're releasing. Letting the emotions of it, any feeling of heartbreak, any feeling of failure, doubt, unworthiness, discomfort, allowing all of that rage, anything to just come up to the surface in this container to be seen. And maybe you'll notice your body tensing. Maybe you notice anxiety. Remember, you're in this container, so anything is welcome here. But to acknowledge all of these things helps the release. So acknowledging where you feel any tension in your body, any pains, maybe you have it in your neck. And start to put that focus there. And start to breathe into your container, this container that you've cultivated of safety and love. And start to breathe this into your chest. And start to breathe out, elongating that breath longer than the breath in. Softening that body, being in a space of receiving. Bring in that breath again. And breathe out, elongating that breath. Breathe in one more time. And breathe out, softening that body. Releasing what is not yours. Releasing that intention. And focusing on that release. Breathing in with that intention of breathing in love, breathing in grace and kindness and compassion. Breathing out, releasing, visualizing whatever you're releasing outside of the container, outside of you. Bringing in more distance between your container and what you are releasing. And as you breathe in, breathing in love and safety and value and self-worth and trust, love, and breathing out what you're releasing. Releasing that again, moving that past and outside of your container. Outside, creating more distance between your container and what you're releasing. Breathing in one more time, love and safety and trust. And breathing out, softening the body, releasing whatever needs to be released from your heart and your mind and your body, and moving that out past the container, out, further out, creating distance. As you're witnessing this release, start to recognize how you feel in the body without that weight, without holding on to something that isn't yours. Releasing and setting it free. And just witnessing how you feel, even if that's discomfort, even if that is pain. Maybe it's joy, maybe it's fear, maybe it's peace. Recognizing all of that. And just stay in this space, in this body, in this moment here for another brief second or two. And just start to come back to your body slowly, not fully back yet. Not fully back. And starting to fully come back at your own pace. Starting to wiggle your fingers and your toes here. Yeah. And whenever you're ready, feel free to open those eyes. You can keep them rested. You can keep them completely rested for as long as you want. But just start to come back to the space. Start to anchor in, back in here. Yeah. And welcome back. How are we? If you feel up to it, let me know. Either like you hit some love on the channel there, hit some likes there, or feel free to drop in the chat. And as you do that, I'm going to take a sip of water. Let me know how you're feeling here. If something came up for you that you want to share, and all good if not. Oh, welcome back. And beautiful release there, guys. Like I felt some resistance and this is like tuning into like collective energy. So this is like past, present, future, whoever is, there's like just a resonance of some resistance. And what I'm hearing is kind of to go over this like container that one just created. However that looked for you is a tool. This is a tool that you could use at any time to create this container if you're ever feeling like out of sorts, and knowing that whatever you put in the container, whatever comes up is fully received. Now there's a balance here, which is really interesting, of divine feminine and masculine energy within us. So keeping in mind that we all have a feminine and masculine energy, and allowing that to always be recognized for what it is. Like in this space, in this container that was created, was more of a masculine energy, right? Holding this space, and the emotions that came up, the receiving that came up, and not just the emotions I'm just hearing, but the more so wants to talk about this receiving here, this receiving whatever that is, receiving our love, receiving our highest divine timeline, receiving abundance of all that is, that receiving there, whatever we are filling that container up, it all bridges together. So this is like a tool to work on and to look at this masculine and feminine energy as a beautiful space. And there is like an imbalance that we can step into, like this protector mode where we don't need protection, right? So like in a masculine type energy, that would kind of even be something that may look like our walls are really up and we don't need walls because we're actually safe, right? So that's where this part of the balance in the container comes in. So it really allows us to see the healthy masculine energy and create a container that is fully accepting of all that wants to come up. And this feminine energy of this receiving is stillness and being. And receiving is definitely can definitely be a challenge because, right, how many times have we been taught to give to others, take care of our neighbors, take care of everyone else besides us. And even receiving compliments or love or gifts or things from people, right, can be challenging. But this space, this cultivating this area so that we can release and step into new, right? That's a focus of today. But what are we stepping into? We're stepping into new beginnings and have this balance of setting a space for ourselves to release and then also to receive. So, what do we fill a container up with once we release? We receive in our abundance, right? So, it's always a balance of what are we letting go of and what are we bringing in. And so that was really the first intention of so far the event and what has come up so far. So hopefully that's been kind of sitting in with you guys. There is an activation coming in, but if anyone has any questions, feel free to type in the chat. If you had I had like a weird thing that came up, feel free to shoot that in, and then you can always shoot me a message too after the event, so that's fine. Direct message, feel free to do that. And yeah, we're going to step into this activation here and bridge that and go right into this building that, not building, seeing that timeline, anchoring that timeline, our highest timeline, into this space. So there will be a light body activation here. And with that, there will also be light language, which did come in already. And if you're not familiar, light language is comes in many different forms. It's connection to source, true self, all that is, and that channels in. For me, it channels in via moving of hands and called signing, and via voice. So that comes in there too. So I love that here. Yeah, it was in a vessel of water fully submerged. Formed on the outside. The water started to boil, bubbling out of the top. Very interesting. I love that. I love that. It sounds like there's a lot of visuals that, sometimes we don't even know what like the visuals mean. It's like sometimes we do, but sometimes it's like the body's just like, it's processing. Thank you for sharing that. I really love seeing what people get in their journeys. So yeah, we'll step into here and go right into this activation, and then this light body activation, and then we're going to step into this quantum practice, bringing in this timeline that's already here, but our most abundant timeline, this new beginning. So feel free to start to relax here, guys. I know we were just relaxed, right? But starting to go into your relaxed space, and however that looks as we start to step into receiving. And just feel free to go back into your container that you've created. If you're just tuning in, just you can visualize a container. You can say just a telepathic yes if you're ready to receive this activation, stepping into your highest timeline, receiving that fully, anchoring you in, anchoring you in, anchoring you in. Actually, just seeing roots come in to help ground in, roots at the bottom of your feet, bottom of your pelvic region, grounding in, grounding in, grounding in, moving down into the earth as your crown chakra starts to open up. And I'm seeing actually a book open up, just that visual there of receiving all the knowledge and all that is, any attunements and activations that are ready to be received, and allowing that to just start to take place. I'm actually just seeing the soul chakra, which is actually above the crown area, and that's connection into all lifetimes, right? The soul, all lifetimes, all timelines, all dimensions. As we are in multidimensional beings, so feel free to relax deeper into this space, relaxing those eyes if they're not already, relaxing into the heart, seeing that channel actually above that soul star chakra. Open up further, being a full channel, seeing that full light body activate. Saka wale kashite wale ketes tishite wale ka koya shita koala ke wale ke keta wale kata wale sete wale, activating your heart space, your higher heart, your connection into the other dimensions, other timelines, fully receiving how wala kes ke wala kata wala se ke wishe de wala ka waka shito kata yeta de wese de wala ka ke wala ha se ke wala ka, seeing that channel fully open, fully see, fully be. Kata wala se ke wala kawa ke de wala ka e de wala ke shu wala ka se ke de wala ka de se ke de Shutite Joshite Shikawa Kawite Tishitawalaka Sukite Hakawala Ho Jishitawalaka Suike Shitis Kiwalakata Sukwala Shukitawale, activating your highest timeline, your remembrance of this timeline, your remembrance of how you're anchoring it in, of how you're seeing it, of how you're embodying it, activating all that is, remembering this DNA, remembering down to the subatomic level in all dimensions, times, and planes. Kawa sitete wele heke shuele tete shite wele kete shtuela ka activating you kewela ka suele he yata. If there's any resistance to receiving, just recognize that in the body. Maybe you breathe into that space. If you feel that in your throat, in your heart, breathe in, breathing out, softening that body. Anchoring in, anchoring down. Now allowing yourself to be in this space of full surrender and receiving. Starting to see this intention of new that you're bringing in, whatever that is, all of it, all of what you're looking to bring in right now. Even if that goal feels like it's in the far distance or it's in 3 months from now, see it. See that quantum field expanding. See what it is. See how it looks like with you in that space. Maybe that means you in your business, you servicing clients. Maybe that means you speaking in front of people. Maybe that means you starting your own podcast. Maybe that means bringing in love, bringing in friends. All of that is in the quantum field right now. It is here. Starting to feel how that feels like in your body. What excitement, what joy, what love. Start to recognize and see, play out what it would be like for that to be happening right now. Starting to see your feelings of excitement, joy, peace, calm, love. Just move throughout that body as those feelings are real. This is real. Anchoring that in, seeing that in your mind, feeling that in your body, knowing that in your soul. Your soul is you. Knowing that this is your highest timeline that you have anchored in right now. Seeing that solidify and crystallize around you. Maybe you actually see your container open up to these possibilities, claiming these intentions, claiming this new, opening up the container to that possibility, opening up, receiving, seeing, knowing, allowing, surrendering, letting that move in deeper, witnessing those emotions, the joy, the love, the happiness of this abundance, whatever it is that you have called in, fully in your container, fully in you, letting that be seen and witnessed and recognized, and sit within that space and see how that feels here just for a few brief moments. Letting that come in deeper and deeper. Letting your heart expand more with all of this, claiming the now, claiming all of that, witnessing that. And just start to see that container build and expand as big as you are, which is the entirety of the universe. The universe is you. You are the universe. Expanding that container out to the universe, expanding beyond limits as there are no limits, claiming that space, claiming your part in that space, that knowing, letting that heart be fully seen and witnessed and expand even more. And feel into that here for a few brief moments. And starting to witness your body Recognize you coming back to your body, starting to come back to this dimensional space, knowing that you have anchored in this timeline of all that it is you're looking to bring in. You have brought it in, you've claimed it. So as you start to come back into your body, not letting go of all that you have grounded in, still see that as you start to come back in, start to bring awareness to your body, that you have a body, and start to bring that in, now awareness, and starting to move your fingers and your toes. Yeah. Starting to breathe in. And whenever you're ready here, taking your time, feel free to open up those eyes, knowing that you've anchored all that in. And coming back when you are ready. Yeah. Welcome back here. And again, take your time. You can leave those eyes rested if you feel that calls to you. Yeah. Come on back. As I'm actually, feel free to take a sip of water too. I'm going to take some water here. How are you feeling? How are you feeling there? Whew. I will say I'm looking out into like this collective field here, and there were some powerful shifts, and I see it. I see all what everyone's like claimed in. I see that anchored in. So what I like to talk about is like what we see anchored in, and like that timeline and that area and that way of being, and what inspired actions come from that. So whether you do that, maybe you have some downloads coming in now, so feel free, if you have a journal or something where you can write, if you're getting any messages on like, do you have any like inspired actions that would, yeah, inspired actions is just what I'm hearing. Whether you do that now or you spend a few minutes after the live, we're almost done here. So after, so that you're just downloading in from your higher self, and your soul is communicating, and now you're in that kind of state and that space of being in that quantum and seeing that all that is, and yeah, letting see what comes in with inspired actions, because when right we're bringing stuff in and the opportunities come in, and then it's like, what are we going to do with it? And then sometimes there's like just literally inspired actions of like going to a certain place, and you meet someone and the opportunity comes in, right? So if you feel like going to the park, if you feel like going to that coffee shop, like whatever that looks like, it could be something as simple as that. I have I have manifested a lot of things, and a lot of it was just like, I feel like doing this. And I manifested a 2-week stay at Laguna Beach for free, by just going back to the beach that I was there. I was there on like a solstice at one time, and I went back to the beach, and I met someone who was like, hey, can you watch my cat and plants for 2 weeks? I'm in Laguna Beach. And all I did was go back to the beach. Right. And when I was there, I wasn't looking or searching for anything. I was in such a peaceful state. I'm just here. I'm just here in flow. And that's all that it is being in flow and like taking those inspired actions. And inspired actions could be like, I'm going to open up a LLC, right? Like if there's a couple like business things that I saw coming in. So if you have any of those interests, Like there's intentionality with the universe. So like if you're looking to open up a business, it's like, well, go and get the LLC, solidify that in from quantum into this physical by actually having a physical material side to like what you're anchoring in. So take those steps and whatever that looks like, and one step at a time too. So just helping as we're actually integrating here as like just grounding in as I'm talking, helping to support like a grounding in of the collective here and integrating all that is. And I wanted to share with you guys, there's a couple things here that I have coming up. And if you're not on my email list or following me on my channels, or I would say at least like Facebook, I post a lot of events. You can follow me on my other channels too, but Facebook, Instagram, I post a lot of actual events there. And so coming up here are things I have coming up. I have a digital product on manifesting that will be launching on Monday, right in time for, if you're looking for a boost in for the holidays. I have quite a bit that I've put together that will help support your journey in more abundance and whatever that looks like and whatever you're looking to manifest. So there's that. And then I do have a manifesting course, a masterclass coming in January. So feel free to be on the lookout for that. I do as well. I will put up here, if you are not I'll put up the wrong thing. If you are not subscribed to my newsletter, subscribe to my newsletter. I have lots of free stuff that I do, and then I have a lot of cool stuff coming up. So some of the energy that you felt today was connected into interdimensional beings, angelics, a lot of different energy that just conduits through, as we are all conduits. So feel free to sign up for my newsletter, as I plan on doing some group attunements starting in the new year. I do one-on-one attunements. I always offer that, but I feel called to start up a new batch of attunements, which includes aqualorian light being attunements. They're a set of 9 attunements. And if you're looking to understand more in depth, go to my website and book a discovery call. It's free. It's something where you can ask all your questions. If you're feeling like there's a reason that you're here and you want to work with me, but you're like not sure how, I can let you know on all the different services I offer. But I had an intention with this gathering here today on the attunements, telling people about the aquamarine light being attunements. What I say attunements are is really just like helping to there are permanent energetic structures that shift, that allow us to remember how to hold more light. And I say remember because what happens in this lifetime is we hold on to like all these other things, right, that are not ours. And so like things can become more dense. We're holding more of the shadows, which is all embraced. But attunements are kind of like a really easy way, not easy way, but like a different way in approaching things, where things bypass the ego mind, and instead of us like holding on, we say, okay, like we let that go. And in the transmissions, or not really transmissions, actually, they're in the attunements, the structures are changing in the back end. And so yeah, that's the fun part. And I always say with attunements, it feels like I'm more riding a wave than more resisting the wave. And that's how people usually feel after. So I have those aquamarine light being attunements and angelic unity consciousness attunements, which are connected in right now. The first level is connected into the seraphim, which are higher consciousness and density of angelics. And so if you're called to the angelic realm, or you're like just curious, like, oh, what is this? Right. So feel free to look at that. I have all of that on my site as well. So you can read more on that and the angelic frequencies. And it is a healing modality as well, where it starts to open up in the first level, the hand portals, and that heat starts to come in. The recognition of the heat starts to come in to where we can channel that energy towards not towards but with intention with other people and help support their shifts as well. So if you're interested in facilitating and doing your own healing work with others, that's a really good one to look at. And I do also offer one-on-ones. I offer one-on-one Akashic Enlightenment sessions. So feel free to look at my site. Feel free to sign up. I have lots of stuff coming in the new year. And yeah, hopefully you guys are feeling good and feeling rested. And feel free to look out for future stuff that I'm doing. So, thank you so much guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the future somehow.